the NFL, they love, like, one of their favorite things to do is they love sending a message. They love sending a message to everybody. They love sending a precedent. They do that type of stuff every year. And they saw, uh, if I'm being frank, a black family that had a swagger, that had motion, that were making similar demands that we saw the Mannings make, and they're like, we're not gonna let you do that. And so he fell.
The assumption is that a lot of owners and a lot of teams do not see Shedeur Sanders as a bona fide starting level quarterback. So they see him as like maybe starter, at the most, more than likely a backup quarterback. So now that he's a backup prospect, he fell because a lot of teams don't want to deal with a backup quarterback that has this much attention to him.
The one thing we also have to understand is that Shedeur was a big part in this. He walked in there. It's still a job interview. Shedeur. You can't go in there and get conflict with Brian Daboll and not be prepared when you knew this was it. And this is where I'm also going to criticize Dion. Dion, you could do these things. You were the one that you could threaten. You could go play professional baseball and not play football.
How did you all feel about Shedeur Sanders falling in the NFL draft?
You know what it was? Like, to be fair, it's multifaceted, because there were teams that, like, apparently just completely took him off their board because he was like, hey, there's certain teams I want to go to that I don't want to go to and stuff like that. So that turned people off. Apparently he did bomb some interviews. But at the same time, like, like how the NFL, they love, like, one of their favorite things to do is they love sending a message. They love sending a message to everybody. They love sending a precedent. They do that type of stuff every year. And they saw, if I'm being frank, a black family that had a swagger, that had motion, that were making similar demands that we saw the Mannings make, and they're like, we're not gonna let you do that. And so he fell. And at the end of the day, talent does trump all in the NFL, because it is a business. They care more about the talent. And he wasn't a high enough talent for them to justify the stuff that he was demanding, unfortunately. If he was as good as Caleb Williams, if he was as good as Jaden Daniels, if he was a Trevor Lawrence-type prospect, he wouldn't have fallen all the way to the 5th round. He still might have fallen a little bit, but it would have been all the 5th round. And if I look at, like, the drafts from, like, the last 5 years, I don't think he's a number 1 pick in any of them. So he's a good player. And do I think he should have fallen to 5th? Hell no. But hey, he has a shot. He still fell to the Browns, so there's still a chance that he could end up being the starter, because he has to go up against 40-year-old Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and who's the Kenny Pickett,
Tyler Shaw.
Yeah, Shedeur can easily win that if he does what he's supposed to do. So I'm worried.
So this is what I said on Trent's show, and I'm gonna repeat it here. Shedeur Sanders. The assumption is that a lot of owners and a lot of teams do not see Shedeur Sanders as a bona fide starting level quarterback. So they see him as like maybe starter, at the most, more than likely a backup quarterback. So the fact that they saw him as a backup level quarterback, and we all know that a lot of teams love two big things that I repeat all the time. They love a quarterback who has a big arm, and they love a quarterback who's mobile outside the pocket. Shedeur's not that mobile outside the pocket. He doesn't have the biggest of arms. It's not terrible, but it's not one of the bigger arms. So they saw him as a backup, or at the very least, borderline. So like Lonnie said, his talent didn't really reach picking him over the fact that there's all these off the field stuff. So now that he's a backup prospect, he fell because a lot of teams don't want to deal with a backup quarterback that has this much attention to him. We all know that he is probably the most famous 5th round quarterback of all time. No, he's probably one of the most famous late round picks of all time in general. So he's going to create a lot of noise when it comes to the media. A lot of fans are going to be going like, start Shedeur, start Shedeur, start Shedeur. And also, they don't think he's a team first guy. So that's not what you want in a backup quarterback at all, actually. That's why a lot of quarterbacks who are good don't get backup roles, because they cause too much noise, like Cam Newton, for example, or Colin Kaepernick, for example. So if that's the case, where they don't see him as his talent and they don't want him to be a backup, then I understand the logic. Do I agree? No, $2 super chat by Jaden. N words telling me Shedeur can't be
No,
Tua.
that's his ceiling. His ceiling is Tua, but also the thing about Tua is that it's more about anticipation, and he doesn't have a strong arm. But at the same time, Tua doesn't have all the distractions that Shador has. And I said it on way back on open field at the start of college football season. Shador's good, like a lot of the stuff that he was doing on field, and like
$5 super chat, Lonnie. Shush. Oh, I know. You know what, Santo? I know you are best friends with Angie, so you can read
Angie with the $5 super chat. He threatened their control, and the Shield shut that shit down. He didn't have the complexion like Menzel and Mayfield. NFL is a good old boy league.
no facts. Uh, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted.
it. Yeah,
Uh,
Angie. Why did you interrupt Lonnie?
uh, no, like the things that he was doing in the beginning of the college football season, like when he was talking shit to what was it, Colorado State, and then
Yeah, but they
he
would.
was crapping on his O line in the press conference. I think he did like 2 or 3 times. He crapped on the O line. Like those are things that they don't like quarterbacks to do. They don't like them being those distractions. They don't like them shitting on their own players and things like that. And I said, hey, if he has a lot of these off the field incidents, it's gonna hurt his draft stock. And then they started making demands. And then they started saying that, oh, we don't want to go here. We'll control if you pick us and we don't want to go there, we're not going there. And they're like, who do you think you are? Not like we've seen it before, but that's how it was. And this is the result. So it is them putting their foot down, it is them making an example out of him. It's not right, but at the same time, like there's reasons. They have their own justifiable reasons behind it. Quote
Why
unquote.
is he talking shit to another team a distraction?
Because he's the
I thought that was like Killer Will or
because
something.
he's the quarterback.
See, I don't have a problem with it, but when it comes to a quarterback,
Wait, hold on a
be
second.
all clean, quiet, whatever.
Was that Colorado State player, that quarterback, talked trash about Shedeur?
They went on
He said,
ESPN and talked
he said they're
trash.
doing things for clicks and likes. He's
Brandon,
disrespecting their whole credibility. Should have responded, and Shedeur is this distraction. This is very unserious. This is super unserious. It's just unserious. Like I don't.
I agree.
If you're gonna tell me that him responding to someone talking about him and his dad is a distraction, then we're just not having a serious conversation. Like we're being unserious.
No, I agree, but I'm saying like the thing
Was draft stock.
because you know it's not fair for us, Ty. You know it's not. You know it. You know
No,
it's not.
I understand that's what they're gonna call it. I'm just saying that critique is unserious.
No,
You're
well, I
absolutely,
think
you're absolutely
Um,
right.
hold on. I
That's
think
not
it's
serious.
more than that because I don't. I want to make sure that we understand that Shedeur also has a part to play why his stock fell so low.
Yes, yes, he does.
No, yeah, I think you missed what I'm saying. I'm saying
No, I'm not
that's-
saying. I'm not speaking on you. in
Okay, I'm
particular.
just making an understanding. Like the one
The critique I heard, Ty, was that like, oh, he didn't want to shake a guy's hand. He's not being bigger man,
I'm
yada
not
yada yada.
disagreeing with you from the fact that that's what they're saying. I'm saying that one specifically is unserious. That's what I'm saying.
I agree because they're like, oh, he didn't shake the guy's hand. Like the guy shit on him. Why would he want to shake the guy? Why would he want to shake the guy's hand?
Yeah, I would say Tom Brady did that to Eli Manning in the Super Bowl, and no one called that a distraction. That's just
Yeah, but random, you go ahead. I think you're about to say what I was saying.
Santo, do you want to go first? Because I'm
No,
gonna,
you go. You go ahead. I'll go. I'll go next.
all right, I'm just gonna request a little "Let's Get Negative" for when we talk about the prank call on Shedeur, because I think that's this instance is very important, but I'll get to that when it is. So, Lonnie and Ty Riddell, you're all right. So Shedeur was not the perfect prospect the media wanted us to be, whether or not they liked Dion or not, or they liked the attention he was bringing to the sport. But the NFL does, for as smart as they are as an organization, they do a lot of really dumb things. Now, when it comes to being your quarterback, when you're just held to a higher standard. That's why with the Tom Brady stuff saying, "Oh, Tom Brady won 6," when we all know there are a lot of things that came in that helped Tom Brady win 6, or even Mahomes, or name the quarterback. Now, Shedeur was not the perfect one because he was brash, he was outward, and we know before we get into and name, because there are plenty of people who are like that. The NFL now, because people are saying, well, Cam Ward was drafted first, so you can't use race anymore. The NFL bristles at a certain type of black quarterback, and that black quarterback acts a lot like Shedeur does. Shedeur is confident. The man knows he's good. That's how he was raised because his daddy was good. He has that supreme belief in itself. And for them to use, well, I heard a legitimate NFL coach said when you meet him, he makes you feel small. Bro, you're a grown ass man. It is your job to. What are you telling me that a 22-year-old's making you feel small? It's your job to make sure that he's the right guy for you. And Shedeur just didn't have the talent to be a first rounder. But like Lonnie said, they clearly sent a message. And now, because of the NFL trying to send that dumbass message, which was historical, we've never seen a first round talent type quarterback fall that far. Now, this is something that's going to follow the whole season. It's going to muck it up. If you wanted to send a message, fine, he gets drafted in the third round. But when I'm watching the dude the Saints picked in the second round, whose main attributes is the fact that he literally cannot stay healthy. He cannot stay healthy. He's moved around a lot in terms of going to different programs, and his film wasn't as good.
He's old as hell.
And he's Temu Brandon Whedon and Riddell, my bad, and Ty Brandon Whedon, like 2017, 2018. He got drafted by the Browns. He was 28 years old, Ty.
He was in this guy that got drafted was in the same high school class as Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. They're on their second contracts in the NFL.
And Ty,
how old is he?
And the dude,
old.
No, the dude that got drafted, Tyler, was it Nick Slow by the Saints? He's 26 years old. At that point, if we're going by a regular thing, Mahomes already got paid $500 million by the time he was 26. This man. Even go look at his. We've all seen the one his combine, the way he looked at the combine, which was at least the few reps that I saw. The way he looked.
$2 super chat. 26 with 7,000 career yards. Are you kidding me? Facts. And $5 super chat by Angie Carr. No, actually, go ahead, Santo.
No, you go ahead, bro. Tell
Okay.
me about the Saints.
When Tyler Shaw bum ass got picked ahead by the Saints, I knew it was BS. Also, all that praise and Brady ain't did ish.
Brady is not as powerful as you think he is just because he has ownership stake, but that's a whole nother discussion. Now I'll just say this real quick, then I'm gonna lay out.
Also, I'm gonna drop another the StreamYard link once more. We hit another 5 super chats. So if you guys want to, first person, first serve, come up, get your take off about.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna lay out. You handled this so badly that you could go look at how when the Browns drafted Shedeur. The only person who was kind of moderately happy was the owner, which tells me the owner's like, bro, we can't let this kind of talent go. At that point, if I was Shedeur, I was hoping like a genuine team that has an established quarterback would pick me and I can develop and go somewhere else. But the one thing we also have to understand is that Shedeur was a big part in this. He walked in there. It's still a job interview. Shedeur. You can't go in there and get conflict with Brian Daboll and not be prepared when you knew this was it. And this is where I'm also going to criticize Dion. You could do these things. You were the one that you could threaten. You could go play professional baseball and not play football. You were the one. It's a famous meme. People laugh about it. The Giants were drafting him. The Giants were 10 in the draft of the year that Deion Sanders was coming out. So they get a meeting with them, and they start talking to him about things they're going to do. And then Deion says, "Wait a minute, what draft are you on? Oh, we're pick 10." Deion literally stands up and leaves the room because he's like, "I'm not going to be available at the number 10 pick." You can do that, Deion. You should have been smart enough to understand that your son is not good enough as the way you say he is, that your people in the league are lying to you. Because you noticed him subtly move his stuff, because you can look at him that third day, he was shocked that Shedeur was still available. So everybody was wrong here. And don't go ahead, Santo, because when we get to the prank calls, especially the one on Shedeur and why that one's so bad, come on, man. Go ahead, Santo. Let me stop.
I'm gonna be quick. Shedeur don't have that kind of motion to pull a move like this. He's not in a position of power. He doesn't have leverage, and I'm gonna
$2 super chat. Browns also dumb. They could have got him and Travis. talking about Travis Hunter.
Yeah, he's not in a position of leverage. He's trying to get a job in the organization.
Mhm.
I don't understand the level of bravado that he tried to, you know, force his way for a team to draft him. So I blame him. Sure, is the NFL trying to do a message? Yes, they don't want another Manning situation to happen, and I honestly don't blame them for that. I have a business to run. I mean, at this point, like I'm trying to keep order in my business. So I from that perspective, I'm actually fine with it. Um it just goes to show you, hey, don't don't try to negotiate from a place of power when you don't have it. You're not that good. And for the Browns, shout out to them. They got a first, second round talent at round 5. So
Yeah,
hey,
Lonnie's right. He could end up starting
He
he could
could.
start.
obviously if everything works out.
I
But
mean, if we're being completely honest, I mean, he's in a place that he could actually start. The only thing that it costs him, honestly, is money.
And
yeah,
he's already rich as hell.
yeah.
So like
Exactly.
And
at that
I don't think the NFL has a problem with having another man situation because they're actually praised for that. Like they call them the first family of football. I just don't think they want Deion in the movie. I don't think
Ty,
they.
some of the
uh,
critiques of
mm,
Shedeur, some of their critiques of Shedeur were so laughable. Oh, he like you say this. I watch because the one thing they couldn't attack him was, oh, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't really party. So on that end, and I'm like, y'all are attacked him for the stuff. Baker Mayfield was grabbing his nuts on the Kansas sideline, and he got praised for that when they didn't want to shake his hand. But Shedeur shows his like does the rolly or comes at the or responds to the freaking dude from Colorado State. That's a problem. Like we watched Colin Cowherd the first year that Baker Mayfield was drafted. Every single show it felt like he'd played the police tape of Baker Mayfield getting tackled by cops because he was drunk and being nasty.
I
Like
mean,
you can't
we
use
all
those.
know though, if you're good enough, what you did off the field doesn't matter. I
Exactly.
mean, freaking
It's
Let's
just
I
be
the
don't
real.
hypocrisy.
Let's be
It's the
honest. Baker had
hypocrisy.
motion on and off the field.
yeah.
It's the hypocrisy, Santo.
It's
That's
not.
just my thing.
My thing is that let's be honest. Let's not be naive. We know the world that we live in. Sure, there's a lot of hypocrisy. There's a lot of double standards, but we just have to understand how the game is. He
I,
didn't have the motion on the field or off the field to pull these kinds of stunts, and he suffered for it. He
I
overplayed his hand.
well, I just don't want to hear trash talk being called killer word by other people, and then it's called arrogance to other people. That's what I'm saying. Is
I
that it's
agree.
fine?
Sure.
That's I'm saying that the stuff that Shedeur has done, the way that they talk about him, and they talk about his character and how those same actions are viewed for other people is just not the same. I don't care about his talent. That to me is irrelevant. He can have terrible talent, but don't tell me things that he does is not the same. That's not. I don't feel that at all. That's what the black people
No, I
always
hear
do.
you.
I don't care about that. I ain't gonna lie. But
Yeah, I hear
they
you.
know all of Johnny
I hear
Manziel's
you.
problems, man. They
And
know
they
like
they,
all
Johnny
of
they,
them.
they, they,
Manziel,
they dubbed him Johnny Football for that. They dubbed the Manny family the football royalty and the first family of football for things they do. So
like I
I ain't
said,
trying to
if
hear that.
you're good enough,
When especially
you'll get away
I,
with more
no,
stuff if you're
I
good
know.
enough.
I know.
And that's what I'm saying.
I don't disagree with that. Duh. But what I'm saying is, don't praise those same actions. Just say they're good enough to get away with it, but don't praise those actions. That's what I'm saying. When
I
they do something, don't praise it just because they're good. Then say it's bad too, but they're good despite these bad actions. Don't say one is bad when one is good when you do the same thing.
I
That's
No,
what.
hope
yeah,
that's not how my statement came across, by the way.
no.
No, no.
Oh, you're right. You're right about how.
I'm not saying
Okay.
that's what you're saying. I'm just saying
Oh,
that.
I just thought you were in response of what I was saying.
No, no,
So
no.
I
No.
just wanted to
I
make
hear
sure.
you. I just think that they act really the way that people talk about character for similar actions despite the talent. Like just because Tyreek is good at football doesn't mean that Tyreek's actions are okay. I'm not saying you're saying that, but we can
Gotcha.
say his actions are bad and also say he's talented. We can also say then Johnny Manziel and all these other people's actions are bad. Don't call him Johnny Football for his bad actions. Don't call them the football royalty for their bad actions. Just say they're bad actions and say they're good despite that.
no, yeah, facts. I want to show the skit to y'all. Shout out RDC.
I heard they made one. I didn't see it.
Yes, I can finally get my quarterback.
Hey,
Hey, I appreciate that.
you know what they say?
What?
Hey, don't just be picking people off hype, man.
Oh yeah, I understand that. I'm GM too. I understand.
Yeah,
so.
no, for sure. It's just that I didn't want that to happen to you. I just seen it happen too many times.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna happen to me.
Man.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what they say? You know what they say, right?
Yeah. Hold on.
You know
What?
What? Come on, chop it up with me, big bro.
You just kind of
Chop it
acting a
up with
little
me. Yeah,
weird.
no, you know what they say.
What?
Don't pick people who got their jersey retired for no reason.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no. I'm saying the only Sanders we
Nah,
fucking
Shedeur
with.
getting his jersey retired is actually kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Right?
I'm not gonna lie, Shedeur.
Like, bro, you didn't even win a bowl game
That's
over there. Like, for real. Like, don't get me wrong. What he's done there is magnificent. Well, bro,
Jersey retired.
I think I do think the
Yeah.
standards are different for different organizations. Like getting your jersey retired for the Lakers and the Hornets are going to be different.
You okay, but
It's
no,
still
hold
college
on.
football.
I just think that's what it is.
But they're not going to retire they're not going to retire. Charlotte's not retiring LaMelo's jersey if he never went to the playoffs. He played for 10 years.
I don't know about that.
They probably would.
No, they're not gonna retire.
They're
LeBron.
not going to do that.
I'm saying
No,
if LaMelo gets an
I think
He played
I think
like
what
30
Ty
games
is saying
for
that
I
was
don't
gonna
think
be
Sauce,
surprising.
I don't think he's their best quarterback in school
I'm
history
not gonna
either.
hold you.
Sauce.
let LaMelo get 4 or 5 All-Star selections. That jersey gonna get retired, bro.
No,
For the
it's
Hornets?
not, bro.
But
The Hornets?
No.
The Hornets? All right, man.
Shedeur didn't even get.
I'm about to look at Hornets jersey retirement, see what their careers look like.
But
Shedeur,
Shedeur
luck.
wasn't even an All-American. Like he doesn't even have the accolades, other than changing Colorado's playbook. But even that, like just from a team standpoint, he's so lacking to deserve that honor.
Yeah. Now Travis Hunter.
Hold on a second.
Won a Heisman.
Y'all give me a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's play.
The best people are the best. What call? Didn't he win the Biletnikoff?
Yeah.
And so he was the best receiver in college football and the best DB in college football. Like he was amazing.
Give me a second.
All right, let's continue.
They retired Bobby Phillips' jersey. He played 3 years for the Hornets. No All-Star. All right, LaMelo getting jersey retired, bro.
No, that's not compared. That's probably back in the day where there was like 3 teams. Bro.
If he played from 1999 to 2000. He got jersey retired
Or something.
I have no idea why.
He got it retired because he passed away.
Wow, Ty.
He passed away.
Wow, Ty.
Miles,
Wow.
what'd you say? Miles, what'd you say?
He passed away.
Oh, that's right.
Ty, come on.
What? My bad. You know.
All right,
Hold on a second.
Nah,
Let me see
let's
something.
finish the damn skit so we can talk about.
Oh my God!
Don't make me do this. Don't make
He
me
died in
do this.
2000.
How you a GM?
That makes sense.
I'll blow you. Hey, listen. What I'm saying is don't pick people who flex. Don't pick Shedeur.
Okay.
This nigga made me say it. Don't pick Shedeur. You're not picking Shedeur.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
All right. You say you needed a quarterback. You know what else you can get?
What?
A lineman.
Oh,
Get a
okay.
lineman.
O-lineman. All right.
Get a lineman. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
All right.
Nobody gonna say nothing.
All right.
Stupid ass.
All right.
Hey, good?
Yeah, I'm good. All right. O-lineman. Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you sharing that with me, man. Most people don't even do that. Like, thank you, bro. That's love, bro.
Bruh.
Hey,
But I'm picking Shedeur.
hey, don't rap with me, big bro. Don't rap on me. No, I'm just saying. I already know what type of GM you is. No, blow your motherfucking brains out. Don't even play with me. What you gonna do? Who you picking?
I'm gonna pick a corner.
Oh, you gonna pick a corner? Okay.
Yeah, baby.
No. Oh, you trying to pull a fast one. I know you weren't gonna try to pick Charlotte to pull something.
No.
Oh, I know you wasn't. No. One more time. You get a DT.
I don't need a DT.
That's you get it though.
I'm gonna get a DT.
All right, get a DT. Then quick. Play with me if you.
Shout out RDC, man.
He said, "Oh, you go pick Shiloh?" It's
Oh man. All right, before we let Random cook a little bit, we dropped the StreamYard link. Jaden, what take do you want to get off?
I just think, can you hear me all right? Am I good?
Yeah.
I just think it's very nasty what they did to Shedeur. Yes, he's arrogant. Deion Sanders is his father. But when it came to talents like Baker Mayfield was 10 times better than Shedeur. But when he's out there grabbing his crotch to the fans, no one said a word. Everybody called it moxie. Johnny Manziel's partying every other weekend, getting posted on social media. They dubbed him Johnny Football. They called it moxie. But when Shedeur does it, it's like he's an arrogant rich kid. And I just don't like that. You know? That's my biggest gripe with it, because I think him and Cam Moore are the same level of quarterback. One went in the 5th round, one went in the first pick. I don't think Cam Moore is miles better than Shedeur.
You can make that argument.
I think his upside is Miles better, but
I agree.
I,
It's just Cam Ward has the traits, the big arm, more
Mhm.
mobile.
he does, and I give him, he does have a big arm, but I don't think Cam Ward is the most mobile quarterback. Now, his personality is 10 times better than Shedeur. I will give him that. He is a great person. I love all his interviews. He's a great human being. But I feel like they just, I don't know. I just don't like the pictures they paint around Shedeur just because like he's arrogant when other people do it of different color. It was called moxie and swagger and things of that nature. That's what bothers me the most. Because
mm,
I think Baker Mayfield was just as arrogant as Shedeur, in my opinion.
Mm.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, I agree that the action shouldn't be like praised. Like based on what Ty said, it should be praised, and what you said, regardless of the type of person you are. Like if it's a bad action, condemn it. But at the end of the day, if you're good enough, who cares?
Yeah.
So that's what the owners think. So it's tough. But Jaden, appreciate you coming up here
Yep,
again.
that's all I
Every
wanted to
time we
get
hit
off.
5 super chats, we'll drop the link. Someone can get their take off. But hey, man, you're cooking. Appreciate you
Yes,
though.
sir.
That was a good take, Bob.
All right, random. I know you wanna
Thank you.
talk about something.
Yep. You gonna play the intro or not?
No, we won't transition.
All right. Can I just get the big screen just for a little bit, and then I'm gonna talk to y'all.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Let
wait, what's
me.
the about? What we doing?
It's about when Shador got prank called.
Oh,
Let me face this real quick. So, like I mentioned earlier, the NFL is amazing in so many ways. Sancho and I could talk to you for hours about how their marketing and the things that they do that helped them overtake not one but both baseball and basketball to be the number one sport. But the fact that people get prank called every year on draft day, to me, it seems like this should be a very fixable issue. Just give them some phones, and then they return the phones after the draft. But like the fact that the only reason I'm bringing this up, Shador was prank called last night. And it happens. It happened to Tyler Warren. I know it happened to Isaiah Bond. It happens to people every single year. But Shador's was different. It's not race. It's not all that. It's who the fuck did it. Jax Obrick, the son of of the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons. He's the dude that prank called Shador. Now, the fact that, bro, you could have cost your daddy his job, like to the point where he could never work in the NFL again. You can talk to the NFL. Why the hell does Jeff Obrick have Shador Sanders' number? Maybe y'all could fix that. I feel like that's an easier fix. You only send that to certain people so that not everybody in the league gets that. But the fact that he went, he was visiting his parents. He saw his daddy's open iPad and said, "Ooh, what's this?" Then you search. Let's not cap Lonnie. He took down a lot of people's numbers, but who was the one that he decided to call? He targeted him. The fact that he put it on social media for last, bro. Like if I, which is crazy by the way. And there's Lonnie. The Atlanta Falcons have had so many scandals or weird things happen to them that people should really talk about that more, but it's all right. The Pats get all the heat. Hey, the Falcons pumped in crowd noise. They tamper all the goddamn time. Something like this, which if that iPad fell into the wrong hands, or maybe one of Jack's boys took and just went around and fucked around with it. Do you know how fucking crazy that shit was? That he took that shit? That real nice school that you go to. Let me look at the fucking camera. The real nice school that you go to that your daddy it pays for. That's what you took it for? To do all that? The fact that he was able to do that, and the fact that Jeff Obrick is lucky to have his job today, that you went and filmed yourself, that you did all this, you embarrassed yourself, you embarrassed your name, you embarrassed your family. And then that cookie cutter thing where I'm watching motherfuckers try to call him a kid. The nigga's 21. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. Like, don't do that. He made a dumbass decision that could have potentially cost a lot of money. He put the Atlanta Falcons fucking situation in peril. Like, I hope y'all truly understand that. How fucking crazy that shit was. Don't be doing that shit. He's lucky Shedeur Sanders is a cool dude. He said when he called to apologize, don't worry about it. But now the Atlanta Falcons, all that shit, if I would hate to be like an IT person over there, Santo, right now. Think about all the different things. Can you put the rest of us on the big screen? Santo, think about all the things they got to do because his dumb ass went and took that iPad. I would hate to work there. And I think that should be treated differently because the fact that somebody in the family of a $2 super chat by Jaden Cook past Luther, I appreciate it. The fact that everything this was kind of minor is nuts. That's like, oh, Bryce takes fucking like, or Rob Pelinka's kid takes that shit to talk shit to Cooper Flag, but he did it on his daddy's iPhone, the one that he calls GMs with to fucking break deals. No kind of shit is on there. I'm gonna stop because I think that's fucking ridiculous that shit happened, and nothing significant is gonna happen to that kid. He's just gonna go back and laugh about it with his friends. Santo, Ty, all like that deserves the highest of criticisms. And all they're gonna get is a slap on the wrist. And guess what? You want to know why Atlanta doesn't get in a lot of trouble for their skit? Because they got a motherfucker on the competition committee, so they got a little extra fucking influence up there. But it's crazy that this shit keeps happening to that franchise in particular, and nobody fucking talks about it. The fact that let me stop because now I'm just gonna regurgitate. Y'all got it.